If you like talking,
Women.
Ladies.
men,
Topic.
Conversations.
and occasional uninformed politics,
Multiple talking women is for you.
hit it!
Welcome to the Multiple Talking Women podcast. I am Lana Brown.
And I'm Felicity Bramblebush.
Hello, I'm the producer. I'm Paula Gherkin, and very excited today. We have Kate Flannery.
Oh, what a beautiful name. And the last name is very beautiful, Flannery.
Well, thank you. It's very Irish, and I played an alcoholic on TV, so I don't want to stereotype, but it's how it goes sometimes. And my dad owned a bar, so called
Really?
Flannery's Tavern. So if you can't type, stereotype.
Where was this bar?
Oh, in Philadelphia.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh, the great city of Philadelphia.
That's where that bell is.
That's right, the correct one.
That cracked bell. Mm-hmm. I know about that.
Is this
There's
where you
crack
grew
and
up?
there's bells. Yes, yes.
Oh, that's great. My son just went to look at colleges there, so I'm trying to wrap it around my, possible I might be going there.
There's a lot of good schools there.
Yes.
Are you from one of these giant Irish Catholic families?
I am. I'm one of 7 kids.
Wow.
Yes.
And where do you fall in the
I
seven?
am the youngest. I do have a twin sister, but we don't look alike.
Okay.
She's technically 3 minutes older.
You know who's
twin?
you look like the twin sister of Catherine O'Hara.
That is the nicest thing you could say to me. Catherine O'Hara's she's prettier than I, but I love
That's
her,
not
love
true.
her, love her, love her, love her, love her. I wish we actually got to sing together in a choir in Harry Shearer's Christmas show live at Largo. That was probably like 6 years ago.
Wow.
And we were the altos. I loved it. We had the most difficult part.
That's
but-
very cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was
God,
really cool.
what a show! I want to kill
You have
myself
a-
for missing it.
You have a lot of children, so you have that in common.
Yes, I have 12 children.
You do?
Yeah, I do have children. I don't pay a lot of attention to them. I'm just going to be frank. Was that how it was in your house?
Yes, the inmates were running the asylum. It's like as soon as you were old enough to make sure that no one killed themselves or
Yeah,
burned the
you make
house
your own
down.
toast or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah,
you're
pretty
on
much.
your own.
Yeah,
And
pretty much.
did Papa put you to work in the bar?
No, although we did go on Sundays. We were supposed to help clean, but we never did. All we did was eat Slim Jims and dance on the windowsills and run around.
What?
drinking
And
Coke.
did you have to be a real cod to get attention?
Of course. I mean, although everybody was funny in my family, so I never felt like I was necessarily the funny one, but definitely squeaky wheel.
But being the youngest, you were probably the cutest.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everyone
And
was
actually,
like,
there was 5-year
"Oh."
difference between the other 5 and then
Oh,
twins
yeah.
5 years later.
So were they
yeah.
trying to make that happen, or was that like, uh-oh?
And my sister was the accident, and I was the surprise. My mom didn't know she was having twins.
Oh,
Another reason
wow.
to drink, ladies. Just gonna tell you.
yeah.
Her best friend would say, the only anesthesia I had when I had my twins were those 2 stingers at your mother's kitchen table.
Wow.
And my mother would get mad. They were not stingers. They were gin and tonics.
Wait. So this was her pre-labor.
Yes,
Oh, this is.
yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
God.
Well, you know what? I mean,
might have helped me.
it is an anesthesia. It's a depressant. It's not. Is it the worst drug? Maybe.
Probably not as bad as whatever they shoot you up with when they give you pretty.
Epidural?
Yeah,
Yes.
right?
12 epidurals have you had?
Yes, 12 of
Okay.
them.
She doesn't like
I
to feel
just-
anything.
No, my God, no.
I had
go under and I
a
just-
C-section for my 11-pound baby, and which is true, and they gave me Demerol, and it was bad.
Yeah, you don't like being under the influence.
No, and
Yeah.
yesterday I took 2 different kinds of allergy pills,
Oh,
and real bad.
was it just for kicks or?
I
you
was
needed it? Okay, you
being
needed it.
plumb blood allergies. I
Oh, I'm
didn't know. I
sorry.
thought these 2 different type of chemicals are going to work together, and I was like,
Sometimes less is more.
yes,
Sorry.
it was scary.
I'm so sorry.
Do
That
you
is scary,
suffer from
though.
allergies?
I just suffer. I don't really suffer
Just
from
in
allergies.
general.
Yeah. No, I'm not really. No, I just little. But I just feel like life is hard enough. You got to pick your battles.
Right.
If you don't have to take it, don't take it. But take it if you want. I mean,
Yeah.
So someone who grew up in a bar in
Yes, yes.
Philadelphia.
I didn't grow up in the bar.
No,
We actually were
that
like
was a
in
jump.
Yeah.
think you
No. But yeah.
And now you live in Los Angeles, where there's so much, so much about treating yourself with wellness and crystals and sea mosses and juices. Do you follow this, or do you just still?
Some of it I do because I feel like this is a very energetically challenging city.
Oh, good way to put
is.
it.
And you have to figure out how to balance yourself out from all, because there's a lot of crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of crazy and healing stuff too, but there's a lot of crazy in this town.
Don't I know it?
you know, I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
No,
And
it's
did you
crazy.
start performing in Philadelphia?
I did. I wanted to be a child actor. My parents were not. My mom particularly was like, nope. But when I was a senior in high school, I actually worked in a dinner theater. I got to do a show for 4 months, which was really fun, and I learned a lot. And actually, I thank my mother every day. I work with a child actor. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you for shielding me from this, because some kids don't turn out so great when they are.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Name one.
Jodie Foster turned out great,
She did.
That's true.
maybe, but I don't really know her. So
It's
maybe
crazy for even an adult to be in the spotlight in that
Yes.
way. And so for a child who hasn't developed,
Yeah.
it's like not good.
Yeah, but you don't really. One of your kids is a cracker model, and you want them to be
right.
famous, is what you're hoping.
I want them all to be famous.
Yeah.
Do I think they can? No.
No.
That's why I'm starving them.
Right, get them nice and thin.
Right.
So, all
only
right.
winners eat.
Why? That's great. Only winners eat. That's a great motto for
Terrible
your
thing
home.
to
Thank you
say.
for that.
I used to watch Toddlers and Tiaras. Is that even still on the air?
I love that show.
Yeah, that was You do?
Is that a real thing that moms would say only winners eat?
Sort of, yeah.
Kind
It
of
was
that
like
gist, yeah.
maybe not that exact sentence, but that was the succinct. Yeah, that was the meaning.
I
of-
do get.
love
I
that.
am.
I'm gonna
message.
embroider that.
On the side, I am a running coach.
Oh,
And so I do kind of, in some ways agree with that. You want to be lithe
And quick on your feet.
and quick on your feet. And I always say, like, don't feed your kids before they come run for me.
Right.
They get to eat afterwards.
It teaches children.
I don't want them. I don't want them loaded up with things that are going to slow them down.
I disagree. I think the fleshier the better.
All right.
It's a confusing thing learning when to eat. I only eat breakfast. I eat 3 breakfasts. I've had 2 today.
I like your style. I'm very pro eggs. I feel like eggs are the best food, but I'm not a good cook, and the only thing I really can cook are eggs. So that's basically the only
You
thing.
do
I
an
would prepare
omelet.
myself.
How do you whip them up?
Sometimes an omelet.
Yeah.
Sometimes just
Scrambled or over?
Sometimes fried. I mean,
could-
I'm
there's
learning
so
how to
many
do
ways.
poach, but I'm terrible. I
Poach
have
is
no
impossible.
patience, and I never follow directions very well. I'm not a good. I like to improvise when I cook.
That's
which is
right,
not good.
because you're an improviser.
It's
It's
improviser.
right.
Yes.
Right.
And also the Irish can't cook.
Well, kind of. Yeah, we can, and they can't fix anything
Meat
either,
and
but they can
potatoes.
fix you a drink. That's
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
I feel like I was friends with the Italian kids because they always had tons of food in their house.
Yeah,
So
yummy
I was like,
food.
I was not dumb.
I have a
worked it out.
question,
Yes.
and I'm jumping in hard because I feel like both of you do, and I want to ask mine first.
Oh.
What made you, as a kid, want to be a child actor? How does that even did other kids in your household want to? Did you see something? What
But
made
you know what?
you
I
do
did
it?
see. I always wanted to. I was like a big fan of the old musicals from the 30s. So I was big like Shirley Temple, Fred and Ginger.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sure.
And it looked so easy. But I think there was a little bit of a rescue thing, like rescue fantasy, like I'll save everyone. I'll be, But also as I got older, I realized like there was such a craft to it. And when I was in 8th grade, Annie came out, and there was, or maybe 7th grade, and the actress that played Annie, the original Annie, she was from Philadelphia, and so were like 3 of the orphans, the original orphans. So I learned that there was like a system, and I wanted to study voice from one of their coaches, and my mom said, "You already have tap and piano, so if you want to do this, you got to get a job." So I got a job. I worked in a Chinese restaurant, and I was like studying with it, but I was like, "Oh wow, I really don't have any talent. Like I have to learn," and I still sing to this day. I actually toured with Jane Lynch because we did a Christmas album. I actually never sang without a wig on for years. This is true because I had a dying lounge act for 20 years, a comedy act called The Lampshades.
Oh, yes,
but,
that's
right.
I never got to sing on The Office. They literally said to me, "Listen, if Meredith sings, Meredith doesn't sing because not everybody in a documentary in Scranton,
can sing well.
Can sing. So
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, like a little bit. I was like. Okay, well, I guess that's okay. But actually, I think it's good. I think it's good to have a little hope.
For that
would've
character,
bought-
I love that you
Right.
couldn't sing.
Yeah,
Like
I
you
mean,
shouldn't
I
be
would
good
have
at
bought
that.
that as her backstory. That maybe that was part of her alcoholism. That she was
Yeah.
a failed,
failed singer.
or just showed up at karaoke nights. Just a
Hilarious. Well, there was an episode where the last episode in season 9 where Meredith sang karaoke with Pam, and we sang "Girls Just Want to Have Fun." And I was like, I came in too soon. She's like, too soon. Like, I had to be. I was like, we had fun not singing with her. It's fun to play a bad singer.
Yeah.
You have to be a good singer to be a bad
Right,
play
and
a
that's
bad
kind of what the
singer.
Lampshades was like sort
Yeah.
of like this dying lounge act that I did for 20 years where we did like mashups of 70s.
Now, who
80s
did you
songs.
do this with, the Lampshades?
A guy named Scott Robinson, and we actually we opened for every like cover band comedy act. Like we opened for the Dan Band, we opened for Garfunkel and Oates, we opened for Puddle's Pity Party. Like
Great.
if you know this world, like there's a whole like Richard Cheese. There's a whole comedy cover band.
Can you give us
we all
a
did that,
taste
yes.
of your lampshades?
Sure. This is a little Barry Manilow song. I remember all the time. Rain and dust come away like my hair. That's it. We're done. We're good.
That's a skill.
It is a skill, and I had a lot more hair and a jumpsuit, and you could see my religion in my pants.
You have to really pay attention to.
You do,
You get drawn
yet
in.
it's subtle, but it's not.
Yes, exactly. That's
small, but it's big. But I also feel like that's kind of like the Meredith thing. Like sort of like a kind of a broad but very subtle, like very strangely like. I had to say, I loved working in the office for a million reasons. As an ensemble actor, I was in the Second City touring company and I trained there. Yeah. I felt like there was something so utilized, like from those like skills of like, sometimes my lines would get cut. Sometimes I didn't even have a line in an episode.
You were always
but
very present.
But I had a laugh. It was like so weird. I was like, and
because you understand improvising from a point of view.
Yeah.
Right.
Everyone
also,
was an integral part in that room.
This is true. And also understanding that your presence doesn't always have to require words. And I also feel like sometimes when characters are suddenly doing the exposition, they're talking more, like they lose their funny.
Yes.
So I was so happy I didn't, I was like, the little chess match like still went on all 9 seasons for me. Even if like I was featured in an episode, like it was only once in a while, or I feel like when I did show up, it was so, it just had more of an impact.
Yes, I think
which
that's
is so fun.
really smart.
Yeah. So I feel like, the actors that open a script and like read their lines and get mad, like, wait a minute. I say like, slow down, honey, slow down.
Yeah.
This could be the biggest gift. But also we had a great showrunner, we had great directors, we had great writers, like who understood the subtleties. And that's not always the case.
No.
And
I think young actors like who are studying today in LA, sometimes I go see a workshop or a showcase or something. I want to say, you're in too much. I can tell that you wanted to be in everything and the star and everything, and I'm paying attention to so-and-so who had those 3 lines that are going to stick with me.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah.
Because you've diluted yourself.
Yes.
Now, because of the Second City of it all and the lampshades of it all,
yes.
is this why you were approached to by
Same
the
question.
office?
Yeah, how did
because
Office-
I understand that the
approached by
office
the
audition
Office.
was just on improvisation. Is that right?
Actually,
the
no,
audition?
it was written.
Oh,
No,
was?
it was written. Our show was very written.
But the audition, your initial audition.
Parts of it were improvised, for
Okay.
sure.
We
but
had Oscar Nunez. I'm imagining a friend of yours. He
Yes.
came on the podcast.
We actually auditioned the same day. But I initially auditioned for the part of Jan, which I did not get. I was not in the pilot. I actually replaced somebody from the pilot. So I feel like I was always sort of like, when you replace someone, you realize, oh, I could be fired at any time. Like there was a little reality for me. And that's why like initially when my stuff got cut, I was like, oh no.
Oh my God.
But then I was
I
like,
would be afraid that person would push me down some stairs.
Yeah.
Right?
well,
All about
it is what it. I mean,
It
like,
happens.
It
It's
happens,
showbiz.
and it,
It's the
I mean,
business.
Sometimes I think about, are you two the right fit for the podcast? What do we need to bring?
Nobody could ever
is
replace
that why I'm here?
I mean,
Is this
we're
sort of
going to
audition
see.
or
Because
replace?
she might be.
No.
I don't know which one.
No.
You make a move, you better sleep with one eye open, chickie.
Well, I'm not
Now,
afraid.
what were
I
you
already
doing
do.
before The Office? That's what I want to hear. And then
I was doing the
we'll leap into
lampshades
it.
and I was waiting tables and I had just done I had a kind of a little splashy achievement off Broadway, I will call that. I was in the stage production of the movie Valley of the Dolls. I played the Patty Duke Neely O'Hara part, which was, I always call this like pre-YouTube theater. It was very Rocky Horror. This was like back
Was
in
there
the
singing?
90s. There was singing. Yeah, it was from the movie. So it was like we just did the movie on stage, but we just heightened it and it was easy to get laughs because the movie was pretty. It was uneven.
But you were also probably
directorial.
good.
No, we had fun with it. We had a blast with it. And Jackie Beat, my drag queen friend, played the Helen Lawson, Susan Haywood part. So that was always fun. So Ken Marino was in that. And we had a great, it was really, really fun. And I feel like that was like, I got great reviews and I was like, okay. Because I had been up for SNL when I was at Second City in the Annoyance Theater. Didn't get it. My 2 friends got it.
Who
which
were
is always
they?
weird. It was Melanie Hutzel and Beth Cahill.
Yes.
Heard of them both.
It's so crazy because you have to like. I mean, I'm like Catholic. You want to be happy for your friends. You don't want to like. You don't want to knock them down.
it's
But
hard,
it's
though.
hard to negotiate. So thank God for therapy, because it just took 13 short years to get the office after that. And a lot of like, a lot of like, a lot of almosts and like, a little bit like, you sure you still want to do this? But I was working at a restaurant in Beverly Hills and actually kept my restaurant job through the first season of The Office because I didn't know if we were going to get picked up.
God.
And having replaced
This is
somebody.
similar to
We always
Oscar's
hear
story.
this.
Yes, Oscar was still
he
working
kept
too.
his,
Yes, he was still catering and babysitting. So yeah, I feel like there's something to be said for that. I think I did have some friends that were like, the perception, you can't work there. It's too, because we waited. I mean, I waited on everybody. I mean, it was like the place.
Yeah.
Like Bruce Springsteen, Steve Martin, Whitney Houston, like every director.
Was it Wolfgang Puck?
No. Although I did work I worked one Oscars governor's ball for Wolfgang Puck. I was like back in 1995. So I remember being at the governor's ball for the Emmys, and I said to the waiter, like, I was here like 10 years ago. Just hanging there.
Oh,
Like
that's great.
Yeah, and I remember J.J. Abrams saw us at the Emmys, and the year we won, and he's like, "You were our waitress. We're so happy for you."
Oh, God.
That's so nice to
know.
remember.
Like,
God,
yeah.
every waiter out there.
Dude, hang in there.
Hang in
Seriously,
there.
I am the poster child, and like literally, and also I'm a late bloomer. Like I was 40 when I got The Office, and I just feel like, if you know you're onto something and you're getting enough yeses and you're not delusional, like, and maybe you have to be delusional. I don't even know, but maybe I was delusional, but to hang in there. But I still feel like, especially for character people, you're probably going to work more when you get older. It's just how it is. And I think it's harder for women because there's less jobs in between. There's less jobs after success too. I mean, I always look at like the original cast of, SNL. Like most of the guys had like big movie careers.
Yes.
Even Gilda Radner, she'd do like 3 movies. Like
Yes.
there was never anything that was around her. Like it's great. It's great.
Yes,
That's
it's all
crazy.
The
crazy.
imbalance is nuts. But it's like I don't have hate in my heart about the system. You have to accept some of it, but then you have to figure out how to change it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sure.
This is all like gold.
Yeah, this is all golden. This is all great
It really is
information.
because I don't think people know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's
How
like we
tough
do,
it
but
is.
we don't. It's like
Yeah.
we yeah.
But
it's
another
like,
thing
here,
is just
30
like-
for you, fella, and like, okay, 4 for you this year, honey.
Sure.
You're not sitting around,
No,
playing-
and it's like, and you do what you can because you have to be in good shape. You can't be like sitting there snooting, like,
Right.
You're not even gonna call.
What out of curiosity, what were some of the yeses, even if they weren't, huge, prior to The Office, where you said, okay, this is enough, this is keeping me going, maybe I'm doing the right thing? Like what were some of the jobs that you enjoyed?
Well, we got Pick of the Week a lot for the Lampshades, and like I got to do the Aspen Comedy Festival, but like there was some like higher profile things that were happening. But I was like a guest star on Bernie Mac and Curb Your Enthusiasm. Even though all my lines got cut, I still got a laugh. It was very pre-Meredith. I played a cop. It was the bra sniffing dog episode. Jeff Garlin has a
So
canine.
funny. And like would never remember, I would remember you from that, but I don't remember, she didn't have any lines.
It's not funny. I know, it's
might
so
as
crazy.
well.
And what was weird is that I would say something because that was all improvised. Like Curb is all improvised. You get an outline. And there was a real cop that was with me. The two of us. He was the male cop and I was the female cop, and he was older. And we would do another take, and he would repeat what I said in the take before. I was like, okay, dude. Like, and I get it. He doesn't. I mean, it happens a lot.
Of course.
Which I always say, like, if you're an improviser and you're going to improvise during a TV show, wait till they're rolling. Do not do it during rehearsal because it may not go. It may get cut anyway. But like, save it. Don't do it and have someone be like, don't do that. At least have it be on camera. So
This is gold because we, Felicity and Lana, and Paula, who's our producer,
No, don't keep me out of your stuff. I'm separate.
we decided later in life or middling, that we want to be successful. And we're doing this podcast. And you use the word delusional, but there's a new thing people are saying, delulu. What is it? Delulu?
Delulu is the Salulu.
Delulu is the salulu. And I think you have to believe in yourself. And this just gave us
Even
more.
if it doesn't make sense and it seems crazy, you just
Right.
believe in yourself.
That's
even
what
if
I'm
there's
doing.
if there's no chance in hell.
And the reason why we're doing the podcast is to learn how people have done it. And this is like juice from manna from heaven.
Well, I will tell you all my secrets. I won't give you my passwords or my social, but everything up to that point. Because this is the thing. I also feel like some people don't share anything.
They're afraid. They say,
Yes,
there's
they don't
only
think
so
there's
much
enough.
to go around.
There's only so much to go around.
Yeah.
And you know what? This is the thing. We all have something waiting for us, no matter what it is. If you keep moving forward, and you don't piss off everybody in town.
Yeah, ever heard of Deepak Chopra?
I used to wait on Deepak.
Really?
And I remember like some
But,
other
he
stars
talks
would come
about
up and
that.
talk to him, and I'd be like, I'd feel protective, like, leave him alone. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
Leave him alone.
Let him alone. Let him have
Yeah,
some
some guy
peace.
from like Saturday Night Fever. I'm like, get away from him. Get away from him. You're too
John Travolta.
No, it was not John Travolta. No.
No,
but
John
that
Travolta has his own religion. He wouldn't have been asking
This
Deepak
is
for
right.
his stuff.
Yeah,
Right,
no,
right.
no, he doesn't believe in any of
No.
that stuff. He's,
Wow.
The one thing that we're interested in is also, the perks that come with success and fame.
Well,
I mean,
yes.
let's be honest.
Creams.
Yeah, creams and
you're
lotions,
you're on
mostly.
the most popular, the best show, maybe ever, comedy.
Yeah.
And at the height of it all, I mean, what was that like? Were
And
li-
did you ever get gift baskets or promotional items for free, like skin
Yeah,
creams?
from
Because that's what I want.
Yeah, I think we got Crocs when they first came out, you guys. First set of Crocs on the block.
Do you still have
Seriously.
that pair of Crocs?
I don't think
They're
so.
probably
I'm
kind of a
sorry.
mess at this point.
Right? They were bright green.
Wow.
Yeah, and I felt like, yeah, I felt like we didn't. The thing about The Office is that I feel like there was something about our experience where we were on our own set. We weren't on a lot. We had our own set, and it was a closed set, so we never had a lot of showbiz. So even Steve Carell was like, he was more about like the show than being the star. Like even
Probably
though
why
he
it was so
clearly
good.
was a
That
star.
helped.
That's
Yes,
probably why.
yeah. I mean, he really had a great work ethic, and I think it set the tone so that no one else could be a douchebag, and it really helped. But I also feel like, speaking of bags, like there weren't a ton of gift bags. Like, although we were at like every award show, because we won the Emmy the first year we were nominated, and then we won the SAG Award the next 2 years. But every Golden Globes, Emmys, and SAGs for the next like 6 years, we were there, but we didn't win. So you would get, it was like it's an honor just to be nominated. I mean, it's fun to, get to borrow clothes and like, and get to talk to people that you would never be in a room
Yeah.
with before. Like
Yeah.
literally, I remember at the SAG Awards, we were coming in late from press and my boyfriend and I were literally held back because of a camera move. We were standing there with Brad and Angelina, and I was like,
Whoa.
what the fuck?
Yeah, what world is
Access.
this? Do you
So
have their contact info?
No, I think
Oh,
we have, but
that's
we
too
do
bad.
have their security. Yeah, they threatened us.
Would
It's kinda like,
love
don't
to
touch,
get
don't
them
touch,
on.
Don't touch.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I feel like we didn't get a ton of like. I can't say. I mean, that doesn't mean I didn't get like gift
Well, your
bags
skin
and
is
stuff.
beautiful.
Why? Thank you.
It
Yeah,
is
what
that
do
just
you-
Irish, beautiful Irish rose jeans?
I
or-
try to stay out of the sun.
Yeah.
Sunblock.
Yeah, are you getting some kind of laser or something? Because I feel like normally, if you're a woman and you're Irish, you're a freckly mess, and you
I just
you
have
like,
I just have makeup on. That's all. I'm just
so
covering.
you got
it, yes.
freckles hidden underneath
Oh, I got
there?
tons of freckles.
All
I
right.
got tons of
freckles.
freckles. I got freckles. So you can sort of. Yeah,
gorgeous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same. I got some Irish, so I also
Right?
got it. I got it all
I
happening.
thought they would fade like my career, but they're still here.
No,
They're still going.
Yeah, it's
no,
all
both
happening.
no.
Yes.
Freckles are cute, and you're just getting started.
Already, did any of the other Flannerys go into showbiz?
No, I'm the only one.
That's good.
Yeah, I've sisters that went in like education. I'm a social worker sister. I have a. I'm totally like
Important
yeah. And my one sister was an art teacher forever, and my other sister teaches. She runs an after school program in Chinatown in Philadelphia, and I have a sister in Chicago who was. She used to do marketing research, and I mean. Yeah, my brother, he owned a bar for a while, and my dad actually worked at his bar when he was like semi-retired. So yeah, there's a lot of booze in the family. It's
Well, every family has it.
Yeah, that's true.
And you
is true.
when you tour with Jane Lynch, and I love this. I love them when women like Lana and I are very supportive of
Even though we're very different politically and religiously.
Oh, you
we're
are.
very, very supportive. Wouldn't you say?
Is there going to be a fist fight in the parking lot?
No,
Okay.
she thinks, I haven't accepted Christ as my personal savior because I believe in all gods. And
No, he's waiting for you.
But I just let her think her thoughts, and she lets me think mine, and that's how we get through it.
That's right.
Very generous of both of you. Very generous.
Now, when you tour with Jane Lynch, what's your
Yes.
relationship like?
I believe in God and she's godless. I'm just kidding. No,
That's what I was
you know
after.
what it is? I knew Jane. Actually, the first time I ever went to Second City, Jane was understudying for somebody on stage. We figured this out years later, and then I think it was a year and a half, 2 years later, I became her understudy. Life is so crazy. And all I can say is don't be a douchebag because
Right.
we all
Yeah.
will see
You
each
come
other
back
again
around.
and again and again.
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
still here, if you're lucky.
You know
enough,
what I've heard is the ladder, people are going up the ladder, right, to
Yes.
success, and they're
Yes.
passing people on the way.
Yes.
The same people are going to be going up when they're coming down.
This is true.
You'll pass them again.
But this time, the tables are turned.
Sure, but if you were nice about it, then there's no turning tables. Then you're like, then maybe you give a hand up. You say, hey, you were nice, on the other end, and I'll pull you up a little bit.
I'm not going to be nice to people who are belittling me because I wasn't
To
successful.
me, that just sounded like you were hosting a show on the Food Network. But now the tables have turned.
That's right. Well, maybe I will be.
Yeah,
Maybe
you
you
might
will
be.
be.
Why not? Why not you?
what
And I want to
about
say that that's like a thing you need to say to yourself, like, why not me? Why not me? I mean, literally, like, I take myself out of the equation sometimes. Just because I'm like, so-and-so. Even when I first auditioned for The Office, I remember a really good friend of mine who is like, for the second audition, I remember Rose Abdu, who's on Hack. She plays Josefina. She's like, she's on everything. She's amazing. And I was like, she's gonna book this. I'm not gonna book this. And you just never
Right.
know. So
And what a funny thing that we do to ourselves. It's like a protective mechanism. Like,
Right.
but why not you? Yeah.
why not?
Yeah.
I mean, just if
she's
you,
got her stuff.
Yeah,
and
even
you've
if you
got
just have
yours.
the possibility, just have the possibility. Delulu, Salulu, what's it?
Delulu is the Salulu.
Oh,
And
my
That's a
God.
social media thing. Are you on social media? Are you doing the TikToks or the?
I'm
or
not
the
on TikTok, but I'm just
Instagram?
on Instagram. I know
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, I'm okay, but I'm just so sick of I'm sick of my whole feed. I'm just.
Do you do
bored of
any bits? Like, do you say, oh, I'm gonna do a dance. I'm gonna do a, something to get the
I just do
numbers up.
Dancing with the Stars when they ask me. That's all I do.
Yeah?
I mean, I literally I was just at the. I did Dancing with the Stars 4 seasons ago, and I did the tour. So I went to see the tour the other day, and it's all the pros, and they're unbelievable live. Like, because I thought I was way too cool for school when they first asked me. I was like, what? And then I'm like, and then I met everyone. I was like, wait a minute, what's the price? Oh, wait. And I'm also too cheap to join a gym, so it's a great way to get.
Oh,
in shape.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
get.
Well, you
it's
got to be in
great.
great shape to do that show.
Yeah, but you get in good shape, even if you're not. Because I was
How
not at the
sore
time.
were you after day 1 and 2? Like,
I mean, the first few. I mean, the whole time I was icing. I had a rib out. Like, I was bruised. It was totally worth it.
Yeah.
Because you also get like this, like a
mentality.
runner's high,
Yes.
runner coach.
Yeah, that's right, runner's high. Yeah.
This is true. I mean, that you
Choreography
don't
is
even
hard.
respect.
Yeah.
It is. But Dancing with a Hot Russian is not that.
Did
hard.
you ever
Right.
do one of those steamy numbers?
We did, although I feel like it's not necessarily my character, but we had a great time. I really had a great experience, and I when I was just watching the tour show at the Pantages the other night, they actually brought me up on stage and I got to dance with Gleb, which was hilarious.
Yes.
He's so cheesy, but he's the real thing. He's like Camembert, like he knows what he's doing. He's really
Right.
good. He's just
Yeah.
very easy.
He's
on
like
the eyes.
Camembert, like the cheese.
Yes, as I say, he's
a
very
perfect
cheesy, but he's like
cheese.
Oh, I
Camembert.
see. Oh,
I'm
great.
just thinking
Okay.
he's a good, he's
cheese you
yes.
want.
This is true. And my
I'm
partner Pasha's like
impressed
amazing. Oh my
with
God.
you because, first of all, improvisation's not easy.
No.
Being the youngest of all that family, I think your brain, there's something about your brain that's different.
This is true. You become an observer.
Yes.
At a very early age. And so you just know, like, oh, like if someone does something stupid, you're like, well, I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm not
Right.
going to get caught doing that. That's really stupid.
But even Dancing with the Stars, you have to pick up on things, and then to be able to even, you're dropping a lot of truth and knowledge right now.
Yeah.
I wish
Well,
I could
again,
put it
like
in a
I was
jar.
55 and I was like, I'm too old. Like, I haven't danced since I was in my 20s. It's ridiculous. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing this. But I also had a great teacher. I mean, Pasha was like, he's a 7-time national champ. He and his wife are international champs. Like you can, I mean, I had
And he
no
was patient
business.
with you?
He was great. A little pushy later on, but like rightfully so. Rightfully so. Like
Yeah.
I was ready. But yeah, then I'm like beating myself like, why wasn't I in better shape before? I'm like, because I didn't know I was going to do it.
didn't
There's
know.
no
Yeah,
way.
you
There's no
don't
way.
know.
There's no way.
This is why, I always say, you stay ready physically for anything.
Oh,
This is why, I'm up early, I'm lifting weights, I'm running every day.
I can't do it.
Right.
You
It's
got
good
to.
for your brain to teach it a new
Listen, I
thing.
may get a call because of this podcast is getting popular. Marvel might call, and they might say,
Talk
hey,
about Delulu as the Salulu.
well, they might because they're going to say, hey, this person, something about her. I like her attitude on this show. She could play the bad guy or, some kind of a devil or something.
Oh.
Devil. I danced recently in a thing and had to wear these shoes that were dancer shoes. I'm not a dancer. This toenail fell off.
Oh no. Oh no.
It's now growing back.
Oh
as
no.
you can see,
Is that why you're wearing Birkenstocks?
tiny.
They're adorable Birkenstocks,
Look how
by the way.
tiny that this one on this is. And it's all rigid. And
This is the
gross.
second time you've talked to a guest about your toenail, and this
Well,
has
because
to
it's
stop.
showing and
Okay.
it's shocking to me. So your body must have undergone so much being dancing like that. And
It
then
was
the
great.
lights and the gowns and the makeup and the pressure.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I think, the next day, like Tuesday mornings, we're like, ooh,
Yeah.
like, oh my God, because you're getting judged in front of a lot of people.
I
Yeah.
know. And so how do you deal with, speaking of judgment,
Yes.
It's that kind of thing.
Well,
Yeah, do people
And
did you
self-judgment.
look up on social media people going, "Hey, I don't like the way she did this."
I
or
had to be
that,"
really
or-
careful how much I
Yeah.
looked because it's
People are
debilitating.
terrible.
This is, I mean, I feel so bad for kids today. You know, every
Right.
party you're not invited to. It sucks. It sucks.
If I had a kid, I wouldn't let them have a phone. I wouldn't let them have social media.
Honest to God, and they'll hate you for it.
Great.
But at the same time, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Again, like I was mad at my mom for years for not letting me be a kid actor. Now I'm like, oh my God, thank you.
Grateful.
Yeah, you learn
I
later.
just tell her on
that
her
you're-
deathbed, like, thank you. Seriously,
I had to
literally,
tell my
you're right
son
to-
recently, who's 17, you know, he's watching these shows about high school, like Euphoria and things of like this nature. And I'm like, just so you know, not everybody's having sex like that in high school. I was. But, you know, to make him feel like he's not missing out because, my God, they're 33-year-old Jacob Elordi types who are like 6'5",
They're playing
having
17-year-olds
sex
having
with
sex.
young, anyway. I didn't want him to
Yes.
see this and feel like I must be really
is-
missing out.
Right. This is what life is supposed to be
Yeah.
like.
Yes,
Yeah,
I know.
sure.
I feel like I want to take every kid that's in high school right now and just say, like, it gets better. Hang
yes.
in there. Don't
Yeah.
like comparison is the thief of joy. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. It is the like you're literally like. But it's so hard. It's like you need to have some positive reinforcement, and whether it's like a higher power or like or if you're religious or you're not religious, like whatever, or something like bigger than yourself. Like,
Yes.
even if it's like the beauty of like the sun and the earth, like just whatever it is, like just know that you're part of a system that will take care of you, and you don't have to like you're already good enough. Like you're perfectly imperfect. It's okay.
Wow.
Your
You know,
higher
and
power
it's-
can be nature.
Yeah,
you need to write
absolutely.
some sort of book, and I'm seeing it having some drawings and having a lot of this inspiration.
Are you a drawer? Are you auditioning for a drawing?
No, but-
just,
I can draw.
It's a pitch. Okay.
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 draw it.
All
Because
right.
I would have your book front and center, and it would be when I would need to look at like, you know, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, you know, we always, and if you can believe it, we're at that time.
Well, great. You
It
guys
goes by so
What
fast.
was
The
it something
time
I
when we
said?
start to wrap it up. No, we've been
No,
going
it's
for a half
just-
hour. That's about how long we're. That's
I
how
wanted
long-
this to be an hour.
I
but they
rent.
don't let me.
I rent this podcast
I
booth, and we get it for 30 minutes.
You know
I
what we
see.
never learned is how you met.
Oh, how I met Kate.
Yeah. Yes.
See her gorgeous hair color.
I do.
I do that. I
pay a
work
lot
at
for
a
it.
salon, and
I pay a lot.
Oh, that's why your hands are.
a little bit
bit
reddish.
red.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
yeah.
Yeah, I actually I forgot my wallet last time, and so she said if I, she just didn't trust that I would show up and pay again. So
So I
that's
said
why
if you
Right.
do the podcast, we're even Steven.
Right. Okay.
I
well,
appreciate that though. Yeah,
No
thanks.
problem.
That makes
Anything
sense.
on the horizon for you?
I just did a movie that just came out. It was in theaters for a short time, but it's with Rita Moreno, the great Rita Moreno.
Yeah,
It's called
that's
The Prank.
incredible.
Yes.
It's a comedy horror movie. It's directed by this wonderful director, Maureen Barucha. I worked with her on a movie called Golden Arm a
Yes.
couple years ago, and we were at South by last year.
Yes.
And Rita Moreno is like she's playing like the meanest character she's ever played in her career. She's a physics teacher. She is the devil incarnate. She's amazing and hilarious. So
can't
if you get a
wait.
chance to see it,
We're gonna
I'm sure
watch
it's going to be
this.
on a platform soon. It's in,
Tell us
like,
what it's called again.
it's called The
Prank.
Prank.
The Prank.
It's a high school prank gone wrong, gone horribly wrong. And it's just like, it's really fun. Like John Kimmel's in it, Jimmy's brother. He's so funny. Like there's a lot of like Meredith Salinger's in it. Like there's some really fun people in it. It's Keith David's in it. Like there's some, it's awesome. Like it's one of those really fun indie films. And I just did a couple movies that were at the Mammoth Film Festival last month. A movie called Bolt from the Blue that we shot in Alaska,
Cool.
and a movie called Plan B that I did with Jamie Lee.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Love it.
What? Yeah, it's fun. So I'm just like doing, I'm doing a lot of fun stuff.
A
and
lot,
John
yes.
Heater's in Plan B, Napoleon Dynamite, and Tom Berenger's in that. And I got to tell Tom Berenger I was an extra in Eddie and the Cruisers when I was in high school.
Holy moly.
Wait.
Wild.
This is big.
Is it?
I was obsessed with that.
Are you kidding me?
Oh,
okay.
yes.
During the scene,
They had a
when
song.
Yes, on
They're
the dark
on the
side.
dark
Yes,
side.
I'm in.
Oh,
So I was
yeah.
in the video because I was in the front row. I'm clapping my ass up. I'm wearing like a red twin sweater set, and my hair's and I have like pearls. I'm like this excited, and then I was acting my ass off, and I overdid it. So they just used the clip for a second, but I was clapping so hard, I was like clapping for my life. So I got to remind him who it was, and I told and then we had to do a scene where there were extras, and I said, "You guys, I got to stop you because in 1982, in 40 short years, this could be you doing a scene with somebody that you were with me. Maybe we'll work together. Exactly.
Wow,
It's crazy. He
he's
was so
hot
nice.
stuff. Hubba hubba.
I
That
know,
was
right?
one of my first. I mean, that I was really into that show.
That's so funny.
And
And I have to
that's
say,
I'm gonna
like,
go back and look.
the,
Oh, yeah,
the
watch
actress that played the singer who was always like going up and down the microphone, I feel like I sort of stole a little bit of her shtick when I did the
not?
lampshades, because she sort of was like on the pole like it was a stripper pole.
Right.
Yeah, she sort of was
Right.
like caressing and like playing the tambourine. So hot.
Totally.
Oh,
It was
She didn't invent that.
Are there
you
any
know?
more lampshades shows on the horizon?
there are not. 'Cause unfortunately, my partner Scott Robinson, he moved away.
Oh, great.
And
I
he's
thought
taking
you
a
were gonna
break.
say
So,
he's no
but
longer
you never know. You never know. But Jane Lynch and I will definitely be out at Christmas again. And
Okay, good.
We have this swinging little Christmas album, which is it's like a jazz album, but it's not a hostage situation. It's not a comedy album, but it's the concert that we do live has a lot of comedy in it, and
how
great
could it
musicians.
not?
And
Not?
it's really really fun. So
wow.
yeah, and Jane, like, I feel like she had more faith in me than I had in myself. She's like, you can sing without a wig. Don't worry.
Wow.
Yeah.
You don't have to be funny every second. 'cause I
You're a
would make joke.
powerhouse.
Well,
so
I'm a little
inspired.
slow, but because I'm 59. But but what I'm saying is like, it's taken me a while to get there. So I also want to say, be patient with yourself, be kind with yourself, like literally, and like whatever you have to do, if it's like therapy or whatever or exercise, like whatever gets your brain in a good space, like go for it, and don't pick up your like phone if you're or like don't text with a family member or a loved one that drives you crazy if you're about to do something really important.
Yeah.
That's going to take you off course.
Yeah.
Or that says things like, you're still trying to do this?
Yes, just be careful.
they
I mean, you
don't
can-
understand.
Yeah, and they can keep them in your life, but don't let them just make
Don't
sure
let
you
them
keep,
hijack your
yeah,
joy.
and make sure you're and also keep like what you're doing. There's a sacredness to what your path is, and just make sure just like protect yourself a little bit. I mean, you don't have to lecture them, or they don't even need to know. Just like
Right.
just
You don't
take
even need to
care
get
of
into it.
Yeah. Yeah. You do your own thing.
your
I love
thing.
this because I've not had to prompt her
God,
to give
yeah.
us any of these. Sometimes I have to say to the guest, "Hey, can you tell us how somebody can keep going in this business? How can you inspire them?" And I feel like every word she has said has been an inspiration.
Well,
And
and
I haven't
having-
had to prompt you.
Well,
Now
and I
you
want
know.
to tell you, having to work a second job does not mean you're not doing well,
Yeah.
and it doesn't mean you're not. It's like that's part of being on your path. I think it also supports you when you become more successful, because even though you have managers and agents and publicists and stuff, you still have to be the captain of your own ship.
Yeah.
You got to figure it out. So you have to have the energy, like you and the bandwidth. So if you're working more than one job to pursue your dreams, like that, it's totally fine.
It's fine.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
You're
really
still doing
okay.
it.
Have
Yeah.
like hold your head up and don't listen to the person that's like, hey, whatever.
Yeah.
It's
Why
like,
do we
everyone's
listen
path
to
is
these
different.
people?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's right.
You are a powerhouse. She could be the next Marvel superstar.
You honestly could.
Well, I'm up
Not
to.
the devil, though.
I'll
Paul
fight
is-
her for it.
I might need some running training though. I'm a little out of shape.
You know, I'm
I
happy
gotta
to do
say.
it. We can talk price. I know sometimes you might forget your wallet, so we'll talk about it.
Sorry about that. Don't
Let's
forget your wallet.
give it up for Kate
Flannery!
Flannery.
I hope you'll come back
Yeah,
when your
please
next
come
big
back.
thing
Yeah,
comes
please.
out.
I
We want
would
you
love
back.
to, you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Multiple Talking Women is hosted by Lauren Burns, Ariane Price, and Lisa Shurga, and produced by Carafano and Amelia Misco at Stampede Ventures for the Stampede Podcast Network. Okay, I'm done now.